Hello and welcome to the Lordsmarch Plaza for the level 14 edition of Purple is the Chosen One. I found another nice fountain for us to sit next to, a little oasis of calm in and amidst all the hustle and bustle. We'd been talking in the comments about this area and the sceptres that come from here. So I thought maybe we could run one of these quests and see if we can find one. What do we have to tell you at 14? Well, spell-wise, we got access to level 7 spells, and I found those distinctly lukewarm, given what we're trying to do. I thought about taking Disintegrate, but that's a Necro spell, and we're kind of evocation focused. So I didn't bother in the end with that. There was nothing really that stood out. I think in the end I took the spell version of Great Arresto, but we have it on as a scroll now and we can cast that 100% of the time. So the only real use for that would be to have the spell quickened, because the scroll could be interrupted by a hit, especially as we haven't invested anything in concentration. So how did we go on? We finished the rest of Ravenloft. Did well, not badly at all. No deaths, no real trouble. In the Amber Temple, we absolutely wrecked the Flame Skulls with light and good damage. We did struggle, as we've always seemed to, against Golem types, although we have Comet Fall, which is bludgeon damage. That seems to be a language that the golems speak, so that hurts them. And also the half of the flame strike, although the other half can heal them depending on what type of golem it is. So the Comet Fall was probably the best thing we had for them. But I must admit it was satisfying to go shredding the flame skulls after all the trouble they've given me in the past. My God. Yeah, so between the wisps and the flame skulls and the undead, this character is taking revenge for my many previous iterations, which have been butchered plenty of times by all of those targets. Gear-wise, there is one notable update. I added in place of the Barovian Sceptre, I added the Wild Flame, which is basically like these malleable and fusible sceptres I'm saying come from this Lordsmarch chain, the Peril of the Planar Eyes, but it's a couple of levels up. It comes from the Brawn Pits quest in the Age of Rage Jarasco chain, Madness of Crowds it's called. It's a reasonably quick quest to run once you know the 3 locations of Brawn Pits. If you don't know, as I didn't when I started with it, and well, nobody does, do they, when they start, you can be in there for a good long time wandering around a bit lost. So it definitely pays to know where the 3 possible places he can be. You can actually ask the giants at the start and they'll give you a good indication, provided you pass the concentration check at the start. So yeah, this is quite a nice weapon for our fire needs, and as we can see, fire spell power now has pretty much gone through the roof compared to where it was. And the crit chance, look at that, we're almost at 40 and light 35, so that's good. We've lost a bit on positive, not too much actually, but a bit. The biggest one we've lost is the force, because we have nothing doing force. We have this belt still giving us devotion, spell power and crit chance. So the biggest loss there is the force, which is the Comet Fall damage, although that is fully meted anyway, so it's still going to do reasonable damage, I would have thought. And as one of you has mentioned, there's no level indication there of any cap, so the implication of that is it's going to scale all the way up to 20. so it should still do alright, I think. Situationally very nice. So what sort of tactics were we using in the Ravenloft? Well, the one that stood out, it's a relatively, well, I suppose you could say it's the softest quest in the Ravenloft chain, couldn't you? But I was still pleased with what we did in there. It's the Raven's Bane, the one with all the scarecrows and the hordes of howlers, and we needed quite different solutions for them both. For the scarecrows, the fire options that we had were very good. So we could lead with the ash and then follow up with the flame strike, and if they survived that, then I'd done something wrong. For the howlers, we needed to hold either a sound burst or a comet fall, followed by the holy smite, which really did mash them. And the holy smite did for the what do they call them? The poop throwers at the end there, the dretchers. I managed to amass a huge crowd of those things, held them all, and then just one holy smite and everything just died. So very satisfying that too. Oh, hello. I think it's a short waffle this time around. Oh, I did find. I don't think it's the right one though. I think there are two rune arms in Ravenloft, and I think I've gone and found the wrong one. That's a corrupted fire blast, but I think there is an explosive one, which you folks are probably going to say is the better one of the two. Anyway, something for this artificer life we've got coming up. If my memory serves, I've posted the order of the lives, by the way, in the about section of the channel. After the monk one, we've got the artificer thing, and I have, well, up until this life when I started collecting the odd one, I had no rune arms whatsoever. I'm going to have to turn my attention to some possible armour as well, aren't I? Because they have those. Oh crikey, that's going to be a challenge and a half, isn't it? To try and find some armour for the character to wear. Those docents. Yeah. Okay, and that dropped as well. I don't know if that's any good. Level 10 Macabre repeating heavy crossbow. I've kept it anyway because I have very little on the repeater side either. So we'll see. I think I might still have a level 14 Vorpal one that drops out of what's it called? Subversion in the 12, and that looked pretty good. Although from what I understand, the repeater does drop off in performance relative to the difficulty of the later quests. It's very strong early doors, if I understand it correctly, and sort of later on, well, hopefully that will tally with our intent to use casting later on anyway. So back to the favoured soul before I get sidetracked. We're beginning to break into our stride quite nicely. We've got 4 nice AoEs here: the Comet Fall, the Flame Strike, Holy Smite, Ash. We've got our 3 decent single target damages, Sound Burst, AoE, Hold. And bear in mind the next level is going to see the introduction of Heighten, so hopefully I can whack that on both Comet Fall and Sound Burst to get some more crowd control power in. Enhancements, nothing much has changed. I've restored our improved Scorch thing, so if we lead with that, our Flame Strike should hopefully hit harder. Nothing else in there, is there? I could put. I don't really know actually what to do with the next points we've got coming up. I think we've got everything we want in there. Obviously we'll be taking that one for another 20 fire spell power when we get to 16. But aside from that, Mike suggested going in the War Priest tree, I think. Sorry, War Soul, for a bit more fire and light spell power from the cause. I thought of going back into here for some more healing amp, but honestly, running on Reaper 1, uh, that heal spell is strong enough anyway, the times we come to need it, and generally all I'm doing is just topping up between fights with this Cure Serious. I'm not generally healing in the fights unless we get into real trouble, like happened in the situation with the dragons, or indeed where we died against the shadows in the same quest. So yeah, I'm open to suggestions about where to throw these points. I don't know, maybe the Fey tree. I mean, if we were running a higher difficulty, I would of course throw some into the healing, but it just seems like overkill when we've got this amazing heal spell anyway. So I'm looking for a bit more offense, but I'm not sure quite where to go to find it. Okay, so if my memory serves, we did last time the Seizing the Dawn, didn't we? And I think I've already done with purple the thing in the peaceful sanctuary, the thing with the 2 dimensions. So let's see if we can do the... No, that's not the one, is it? Element of Chaos. I'm not sure if we've done this one before on the... Certainly not recently, I don't think. Let's have a go at this. Hopefully I can demonstrate some of the nice things that I've just mentioned. On the subject of nice things, the defences as well are looking pretty good. I'll just go into the character page once we've finished with this, and you can see. So the saves are looking beefy, almost 40 on everything, which in sort of mid to late heroic is more than acceptable, I think. Fortification's okay, armor class, bleh. But what do you expect within robes? The dodge is pretty good. Charisma not bad. The DCs, I mean, even without heighten there, Soundburst is in the mid 40s, which is completely alright. I mean, if we had heighten now, we'd be pushing up towards 50, which would be awesome. So yeah, not too shabby. What else did I want to show in there? Oh, these resistances, look at these. Those are pretty good as well. And that fire one is really getting good, because the tiefling race gets a bonus to the fire resist equal to character level, so 14 at the moment for us. We do have an option. I mean, that's one thing. If I wanted to go more defensive, we have an option in the tree to take more cold and acid resistance equal to our character level. So we could have, for 3 points in there, we could have 54 in 3 different elemental resistances. Meanwhile, I'm wasting the time on all our buffs.
Now that you've reached the Sulatar ruins, you can search for the Eye of Kithri. Kithri is the plane of churning chaos, so who knows what you will find within.
That was a mess. It just looks so good when you lead with the comet, throw the holy smite in, and just nothing gets up. Try and think of this like the clock face. So in this case, 5, middle, 12, 2, 12, middle, 5. Seven, 6, 3, middle, middle.
The ground shakes, and the cavern shrine door rolls open.
Now we got some traps coming up. If you stick, because the traps are on the lines on the floor, so if you go between the lines you should be alright. I hope. That's another mistake, dearie me. Well, at least they were blinded. Come on, come off cooldown. That was hopeless. I hope we improve from there.
A resonant hum fills the ruins as the first rune activates.
Right. Again, traps. Still didn't get them all, did I? That's still a mess. Ah dear. You ever get the impression it's not going to be your day? So fire opponent, let's put the... no, wrong one, wrong one. Cold one. Oh, crud. There. Probably overkill, but once I'd started it I wanted to do it. Okay. So yeah, our single target damage against most things, unless they're resistant to our magic side of things, is good.
The second rune activates. There's a massive rush of air through the shrine.
Got some more people coming here.
Sudden silence.
Now can we please get this right? Oh no, another mistake. So no need to go down there. There's going to be people round the next corner. That was a bit better. Okay, I'm worried about this next section. We've got some slad coming, haven't we? I think they've changed the slad. Did they say?
Waves of intense heat billow out from the chamber ahead.
I can't remember what they said they'd done though. Have they made them a bit less likely to throw rocks all over the place? If so, I'll be more than happy. Oh crud. It said something about it's given them tongues, didn't it, the description? I guess we'll find out. I know there's some more down there somewhere. Nice.
And the ice sheet that makes up the floor collapses. Lightning crackles, and you're hit by searing heat, piercing cold of the storm. These flames are elemental gates. Best watch your step.
Now every time I go in this damn water, if we had enlarge at this point we could annihilate those things, but I'm going to have to get a bit closer, which I really don't want to do.
As you travel deeper into the caverns, you can feel everything slowly shifting.
Oh, why waste the fire, you muppet? Shoot! Yes, beautiful, a 3-er. I love it. Come on, what's happening here? I think what was happening there was I was being over optimistic and the spell was still on cooldown. Let's see how much boss damage we can do here. Nice, nice, nice. I'll take that.
Area ceiling of the Eye of Kithri vanishes.
Went for the two of them. I got them. I think I got the two there. I didn't realise you were still alive. He's nearly killed us. Oh my god. That's the price you pay for being cavalier. I left him thinking he was dead. Dearie me, what a mistake that was. After doing some pretty good work against them as well. So they can still knock you down, the beggars. Right, let's see if we can find one of these scepters. Nope, not this time. Still, I think despite my numerous misplays there, you could see the nice AoE potential, the crowd control element, how nasty the Holy Smite is when it gets stuck into a group of opponents, and also especially with the Comet Fall, you definitely get this impression that you're kind of the right hand of the gods, throwing all this this divine wrath down on everybody. I think divine wrath actually is a later spell, isn't it? Is it a level 9? And doesn't that heal as well as harm them? I'm looking forward to seeing how that one goes. But yeah, the level 7 spells were definitely a bit of a lull. I was hoping for Firestorm in there, but do they even get fire? I thought Favoured Soul did get the Firestorm spell. Let's have a quick look, make sure I'm not setting myself up for a disappointment here. Spells. If I remember right, the Bard was the same. You get to sort of level 5 and 6 and a lot of the spells were underwhelming. So these at 7, maybe it's just the build I've chosen. And yeah, I mean, the fact I'm alone means stuff like Resurrection and that, or anything mass, spell resistance mass, or which is a great one to give to a party, isn't it? It's not really relevant to this. So yeah, it's just me being miserable. And yes, Firestorm looks like it comes online at 8, so that's something to look forward to. And then we've got, oh, there's Death Pact as well, which, given my propensity for dying, will be really appreciated. And Holy Aura, which looks like a very nice defensive one. So I think we'll be back into the groove when the level 8 ones come. Right, I think that will just about do it for this episode. Thank you very much as always for looking. I'll go on and do, I tell you what, I might, especially as it's off camera, I might try and do the one I don't like in here, the whodunit thing, and just get some kind of a basic handle on how to do it. So I might do all 3 of these, and then the level 12 Lordsmarch chain. I'll do part of the 13 as well. I tend to do the harbour blockade thing and the attack on Summerfield. The thing in the mines I tend to leave to one side. Although maybe I should do it this time around, because I gather they've redone it in the area that annoyed me most. That section with the mines all over the floor, where you had to be like really slow, or jumping on the islands in the middle of the thing. I never particularly liked that. And then the final one, isn't that the one with the puzzle, the floor puzzle? But while you're trying to do the puzzle, there's all sorts of stuff trying to hit you and running over the tiles of the puzzle as well. So the level 13 Lordsmarch, I tend to just do the 2 I mentioned, the Stormreach attack, sorry, the Summerfield attack and the pirate ship thing. It's not like we're short of content anyway. One of you mentioned Giant Hold, that'll be on the agenda for sure. And look, I think you mentioned the Archon chain. There's a helmet in there that might help our monk to be. So yeah, I'm going to try and run as many of the things as possible to that I can think of that might yield helpful items for the next one or the one after the artificer. I think one of you mentioned the trash shocked rune arm. Now I remember that was absolutely useless. You could sit there and make a cup of coffee before the thing actually hit anything. It was that slow. So I'm hoping they've at least done something to. I don't care if it hits less hard. I'm just hoping they've done something to make it more viable. Because I only ever used it for the imbue to the weapon, never to actually hit anything. Right, moaning over, and let's focus on the life at hand. And the life at hand, I think we can say, despite my sort of stumblings at times, we'll say some of it's due to the new class and getting used to it and feeling my way a bit. But I think we're in a good place. We've got a good mix of AoE and single target. The healing is very strong. I mean, did I did I even heal once in that one just gone? Maybe just the odd top up one in between. I don't know. I think a lot of that is due to the boots, with these cheaty boots that we're wearing with the 15 DR. That's like a boosted version of Stone Skin permanently on. So they're doing. Although it's only for physical damage, mind that, isn't it? But even so, that's mega strong. And for the magical damage, as you've seen, we've got several layers. We've got this spell resistance, which is giving us every one spell in 4 is going to fizzle against us anyway. We've got quite a wall of elemental resistance as well. We've got the night shield against magic missiles, so we're in a good place against magic. And we have a decent reflex save as well. What was it, 38 in Reaper? So not bad at all for taking half damage anyway from incoming magic attacks. Right, we will leave it there. Thanks very much as always for looking, and I'll speak to you next time. Take care.